All right, thank you. So this is Health and Welfare. We're back live. It's still Valentine's Day, and this is a great thing because we have some folks with us who are bring love to other people, and we greatly appreciate the work that all of you are doing. Today is Recovery Day in the State House, and we know from our experiences that recovery is prevention and prevention is recovery. So we did have a great opportunity to visit Jenna's Promise, and we are going to tomorrow go through a bill S-186 on recovery residences and recovery communities. So expanding our world a little bit and trying to improve the outcomes in the state of Vermont for addiction and substance use disorder. So this isn't about me or us, but we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we're going to ask you folks to introduce yourselves and say a few words. Representing Recovery Day today.
Hi, I'm Senator Martina Rock-Hewlett, and I live in Burlington, and I represent Chittenden Central. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Senator Dave Weeks. I live in Proctor and I represent Rutland County.
Ginny Lyons, Chittenden Southeast.
Terry Williams, also from Rutland County, live in Fulton. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. I'm Senator Ruth Hardy from the Addison District.
So it's really great to have you here. So why don't we just have you introduce yourselves? Do you have something prepared that you would like to say? Good, that's good. So why don't we have all of you introduce yourselves, and then Jeff, you're gonna be the spokesperson, or I'll let you tell me how you're gonna do it.
So I'm Tracy Howe. I'm the director of the Turning Point Center of Rutland in Rutland, Vermont.
I'm Louis Nielsen. I work as a recovery coach in Vermont prisons for the Turning Point Center of Rutland.
I'm Jeff Moreau. I'm with the Vermont Alliance for Recovery Residences.
I'm Krista Chesbro. I am the peer support specialist at Jenna's Promise.
I'm Dawn Tetro from Jenna's Promise and also Jenna's mom. I post action symbols. I will pick up these sentences.
So thank you all for being here. It's great. It's great. It's a diversity of what you do is neat, kind of neat. And thank you for the work you do. Jeff, why don't you come on up in the hot seat?
Very good.
Share with us.
Well, we know lunchtime is fast approaching, but a few of us would like to share a few words with you. Thank you, Senator Lyons and members of the Senate Committee on Health and Welfare. It's just an honor to be here. Today is part of Recovery Day. My name is Jeff Moreau. As I mentioned earlier, I'm the executive director for the Vermont Alliance for Recovery Residences. Today, I'm accompanied by Tracy Howe from the Rutland Turning Point and Krista Chesbro from Jenna's Promise. And the three of us would like to share a few remarks. Specifically, we are representing as a collective Recovery Partners of Vermont, and that's made up of the recovery centers, and recovery residences, folks that are providing these services across the state. Gary DeCarolis is our executive director, and he has just done a marvelous job of bringing us all together to work as a collective. And we're doing amazing things together. And our priority this year involves 4 things that we ask for your support with. The first being an allocation of $1.5 million for community-based peer recovery coaching in the prison system. And Tracy will speak very briefly about that. We're also asking for your support of an increase in base funding for recovery residences in the amount of $1,559,000. To complement that, we're looking for your support of the Opiate Settlements Committee recommendation of $325,000, which would serve as scholarships for individuals that enter a recovery residence, that initial rent, so to speak, or membership. And then finally, We are in desperate need of your help with legislative measures aimed at enhancing the safety of recovery residences when an individual experiences a recurrence of their disease. So I'm not going to go into my full testimony, however, I'll submit this in writing to you folks for your review. But I want to thank you for the introduction tomorrow of Senate Bill 186. Indeed, we've been working with the Fletcher Group for some time. I know that they might be partners that you would consider in this endeavor to really take a hard look at recovery residences, the effectiveness and the need. Down Street Housing did a report in 2019 that really was very robust in that work, and I think it's time for us to perhaps update that work and make sure we're on the right track. But one thing as you do that work that I want to encourage you to consider is we really don't have a common set of data and outcomes for recovered residences. And I think it's imperative that we establish that. And one way to do that is to have a common recovery resident management platform. And Jenna's Promise, as they've done with so many things, has offered to be the pilot for a system that we've been looking at for the last 6 months called Behave Health. And ideally, we'd like to get all the certified recovery residences on that same platform. So that we can be measuring the same things. And when we think about performance improvement and new activities, we can do it across the certified continuum. I know that Senator Lyons and I were talking about maybe some money being attached to that work to advance accessibility to recovery residences and the needed scaling. And I would encourage you, if possible, to include roughly $40,000 to be able to offer that common data platform across all 13 currently certified homes and the 3 new certified homes that we expect to come on board this next year. My testimony to you folks and to other committees is we need to scale this resource. By comparison, we have 13 homes. We'll have 3 more coming on board this year. That gets us to a whopping 16 homes. Our friends across the border in New Hampshire have over 100 certified homes. And the Down Street Housing Report noted that we're only meeting the need for about 2% of the population that could benefit from this resource. Sending people back to the environment that fuels their addiction or the trauma that they were experiencing or the use is counterproductive. And I don't have to tell you folks, our treatment system is limited in Vermont, and we won't debate that today. But with only 2 weeks, we need that continuum of support. And the belief of the health department and the funding that we allocate says exactly that. You go to 2 weeks of residential treatment, and then you go back to your community for support. And that's what we offer. We offer that peer-supported, sober environment that gets people back to employment, education, an active recovery life that has those recovery supports that are so critical. So it's imperative that we scale this resource. And some of the barriers are the funding and then the landlord tenant. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. And Jeff, I think it would be very helpful first to have your testimony ready, but then to have you come back in as we move forward with S-186, because we're going to be looking at probably completely new language in that bill.
We'd be honored to be a part of that testimony.
Thank you.
And I hope you'll have time to hear from both Tracy and Krista.
We have 5 minutes, and so not to make things too compressed, but terrific. We're glad you're here. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for having me. I want to thank all of you for having me here today to listen. My name is Krista Chesbro. I am the peer support specialist at Dennis Promise. And I am also a person in long-term recovery. When preparing for what I wanted to share with you guys today, for some reason, like my thoughts were all over the place. Kept typing and then erasing. I kept asking myself, why was I asked to share with you guys today? And what could I say that would make a difference? The only answer that I could come up with is I could tell you the truth. For over 20 years, I struggled with drug addiction. I was in and out of rehabs, psych wards. Every day I wanted to die because I did not know how to live like normal people. I couldn't go one day, most times 1 hour, without putting the drug in my body. I remember plenty of nights telling myself that this was it, I wasn't going to do it again. I woke up and I did. I was also ashamed that I could not get clean. I was a straight A student with a good family, and this was not what my life was supposed to be like. I remember going to treatment for the first time back in 2006, and I think it was a 28-day program, and I graduated in 21 days. It felt amazing, positive that I would never go back to using, and within a few months, I was back at it again. This was what my life was like. Within a few months, I went back into treatment to get off the drugs, feel better. I would feel better. I would go home, and then in a few months, I would be right back at it again. Getting off the drugs was not the problem. It was staying away from the drugs or staying off the drugs. When my best friend died in May of 2021, that's when things became really real to me. I knew I had to do something different. I knew just going back to rehab was not enough. I knew I could not go back to my house or I would die. I realized that I was playing Russian roulette every day with my life. I got accepted at Jenna's Promise and arrived there in August of 2021. Living with women did not excite me, but having a safe place to work on myself is what I needed to do. It wasn't easy by any means, but it is what saved my life. I remember getting my first job when I was sober. I was so excited that when Christmas came, I could buy my kids gifts, and I didn't have to have my mom buy them and put from mom. When I asked my children what they wanted for Christmas, they said they had already got what they wanted, and it was their mom back.
Oh, sweet.
While being at Jenna's, I was able to learn how to live without a substance in my body. I was able to build relationships back with my family, how to be a productive member of society. I learned how to go through difficult times without picking up a drug. I was able to be present for my daughter when her fiance was killed in a motorcycle accident. I'm here to say that I would not be alive today if it was not for residential housing. For many years, I tried, and one thing that I did not do was that. I remember thinking that I wasn't going to take up a spot because so many other people did not have places to go. But to be honest, I did not have a place to go either that was going to keep me alive and allow me to learn how to live. I am one of the lucky ones. First year of my recovery, I lost 15 friends. 15 good people that were not given the opportunity that I was given. 15 people that had families. They weren't able to find sober living because the waiting lists were too long and there's time in rehab stuff. I know today that when my best friend died, he died so that I could live. Today I am able to give back. I started working for Jenna's as a peer support when I had 1 year of recovery. I asked myself several times, why did I live? Why didn't I die? Why was I able to get it when so many people don't? And I don't ask that anymore, because I know today that I am worth it. And that I am able to help other women see that they are worth it too. This is why the funding is so essential. We need more recovery homes. We need scholarships for the women to get in. I want to thank you again for allowing me to share.
Thank you. Can you share your testimony so that we have it electronically?
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome. You know, I think we met you. Did we meet?
You
you?
did.
Yes, I know.
Absolutely.
I know this person.
Absolutely.
It's so good to see you, and what you're doing is helping us spread Jenna's wealth across the state. We look forward to doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
I'm Tracy Howe, the Director of the Turning Point Center of Rutland. And I'm here today to ask you to please support the Recovery Partners of Vermont by recommending our requested funding of $1.5 million to the DOC to expand our corrections recovery coach program model statewide. Implementing a legislative solution that will give inmates a strong recovery experience prior to release so that they can restart their lives with the support necessary to be successful. Thereby diminishing addiction-induced behavior that can lead to a reduced rate of recidivism. Our model consists of monthly presentations and then recovery support groups that we do weekly in the facility, and then it gradually morphed into one-to-one recovery coaching. The number of men being coached increased exponentially over the course of the program, largely because of word of mouth among inmates. 250 individuals have received group or individual coaching or both since 2016 through our agency. Of that 250, 108 men remain in contact with Turning Point Center of Rutland. This contact includes men who continue to receive regular coaching, those who may have struggles to hold on to their recovery, but they use the center as an anchorage and they feel safe, so they come there. Connection to recovery and what recovery has to offer is our goal for each individual with whom we work. I want to read you a quick excerpt from a testimony from MJ, who is a 40-year-old who began coaching at Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility in January 2019. He was released January 2021 in the middle of COVID, stayed connected with his coach. He just received a medallion for 5 years of continuous sobriety in January 2024, and he's still being coached by Turning Point Center. And this is a statement. Since I've been out, the Turning Point Center program has provided a lot of direction. It's giving me a place to go and talk about the various issues that might arise, like, say, harassment on the job or my alcoholism. The recovery coaching has been very beneficial. The people who do the recovery coaching are a very unique group of people. They're not scared to speak up on your behalf, provide assistance when you might need somebody to talk to. The people have been kind of a solid stone to lean on, when you're tired or weary mentally with the things going on in life. It's been a unique experience. And we have many other testimonies that we can submit to with us. So we're requesting your committee's support for the funding for this program.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And again, please send your testimony in. It's very helpful to us. As we, what we will do as a committee is we'll look through the sections of the budget that relate to our jurisdiction. And then we'll try to make some recommendations to appropriations. Obviously, we have recovery on our list in here, so we'll see where it goes when it gets there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, all of you, and being here. I know it's very difficult to be here, and I'm looking at you in particular, your coach, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate your ability to come in and share with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's a wrap.